So we're talking about dollar cost averaging today for the Saturday strategy tips. So welcome again, everyone. So this strategy is basically is pretty simple, and we recommend that to most people. It's a good way to start with crypto, and it's also one that's in fact one of the most effective as well. So what's happening is most people they try to say, "Oh, I'm gonna buy this or that." Then they try to buy at the right time. They try to sell at the right time. But also the other issue is they're not often they end up being emotional. So basically, they might end up buying stuff when it's not the right time anymore, or they might not sell something because I think it's gonna go back up and let me wait, and then it just goes further down, or they just think it's time to make some money, but then it still goes up later on. So basically, you may never have the right timing, or maybe have more. You may not really follow your strategy, or you may not even have a strategy, and so you're just trying to just do some things when you feel like it, or when you're being influenced maybe by the media or by other traders or by like groups that you're part of. So the dollar cost averaging basically means you decide on a certain amount that you can invest on a regular basis, and you either transfer that amount you can do it like let's say once a month, and that applies also to other kind of investment, or of course if you have retirement accounts or regular stock. But so you can decide that instead of buying once a year, and you may end up not being buying at the right moment, so you spread it out on a regular basis. So you could do like once a month or something, but like especially for crypto, which is pretty volatile, we recommend at least like usually once a week. And there's some websites that I'm going to talk about one in particular that allows you even to do daily. So you might be able to do like a weekly transfer of money, or onboarding of money, or fiat, or like currency in your own country. Could be your US dollar or Canadian dollar or Australian dollar or whatever. But so some allow you to make, let's say, a weekly transfer, but then they make a daily purchase. So every day they make a little purchase. So you just decide on the amount you want to put in or transfer on a regular basis, and then they will do automatically the transaction for you. So one thing is it's automated, so you don't need to spend much time on it. Second thing is you uh, don't forget, so you just go based on the amount that you allocated for that. Third thing is then it buys on a daily basis, let's say. And what's nice about this is then, and there's a lot of websites where you can compare how much return you would get if you had used this strategy with, let's say, Bitcoin or something. You can compare like for the historical with their historical prices, if you've done that, let's say for the past year or the past 5 years, let's say. And what happens is basically, because you're buying the same amount every day, if you end up on a few days where the price is lower, then you will get more units for that same amount of money. And then when it goes up, then you will get a bit fewer number of units. So basically, you're buying more when the price is lower, and you're buying less when the price is higher. And of course, over time, there might be a trend upward or downwards. But basically, you're benefiting from, without knowing it, you're of the price fluctuation. So you're buying more at a lower price and less at a higher price. So over time, well, first of all, is you've bought some along the way. So if it ends up going higher over time, you bought some early on and you keep on buying. So instead of just maybe a year after, you say, oh, this is popular, or this is going up, so let me buy it. But you just lost the past year of where you could have bought initially starting early on. So you basically, without knowing what's going on. If you have hope that it's gonna go up over time, but you don't know when, could be in 1 month, could be in 6 months, could be next year, but you're accumulating some of it over time. And it's I mean, there's a many website that tells you about that, and they tell you potential return, of course, for past result. But basically you would see that you make in most cases you make more better return than if you had just bought at different specific moment, because you just, like, again, you're averaging the other thing is you're accumulating over time. So one example of that is a Swan Bitcoin is a one site that we can put the link in the comments as well. They specialize in the Bitcoin especially. So this company, they really believe in Bitcoin specifically for various reasons that you might have seen before, like as one of the foundation of the crypto world. And so what they do is they make it easy for you to, like I said, set up an automated payment. They keep it very simple. The website is simple. The trading is simple. So they just make it very easy for beginners. So all you have to do is connect with one of your account, decide on an amount, decide on the frequency, and you will be able to just start this, and they will transfer some money. Let's say you could decide, I'm gonna do I mean, if you start with small amount, you just want to play with, you could say, I'm gonna do $10 a week or something, or I'm gonna do $50 a week or whatever. But then, of course, there's a little fee for the transfer. So normally what people do is they transfer at least once a week. I mean, not more frequent than that, but like I said, you can still buy daily, so you can do a weekly transfer of money, but then they will buy some daily, they will spread it out. So probably you can do something like $10 a day, let's say, or and transfer like $70 a week, something like that. So of course it depends. If you're starting with a smaller amount, you could transfer, maybe make it a bit, I don't remember the exact details, like the minimums, but you can start with it's a really small amount. And then at some point, if you like it and you get more familiar with other things, you can decide to increase that. Or and then when there's a little holding period where you cannot like sell, or I think it takes a few days before you can really like transfer it or sell it. So the goal there is not to do like day trading or anything like that. Of course, it's for the long term. So it's just a way to accumulate some Bitcoin, and then hopefully you hold it for a certain period of time until it's worth more. But like I said again, it's just a good strategy. So there's more and more. People were asking, especially I think if it's not in the US, it might not be as easy with this particular one. But I've seen many, like for example, I'm in Canada, and now many of the crypto exchange, they have a similar feature. It could be auto deposit, auto invest. Some call it DCA, dollar cost averaging. So many of them, because they like it if you're investing with their platform. So they make it easier now to do some kind of automated, like I said, transfer of money and then regular purchase. And of course, some other exchange have the option to do that for other coins also. Let's say you want to do Ethereum or some other. I mean, it may not work with some of the more obscure one, but it might work on like the most. I mean, whatever they can trade on that particular platform. So that's something we recommend. And if you need help or any reference for other places in your, like I said, in your country that might allow you to do that, we have other reference too for that. But one that we've seen a lot of people that they like it is the Swan Bitcoin. So that's a good one to start with, especially in the USA. So thank you for coming or for watching this on the replay. And again, a reminder, we're pretty busy right now with working on people taxes. So We also have two new webinar workshop this week. So if you still want to get in and get help with your taxes, either just find out about the software, especially that we recommend for most people, especially if you have any kind of complex situation, or if you just want, even if yours is more simple, or if you want to have maybe a kind of find out about our do-it-yourself option where you can kind of learn how to do that. Or if you want to learn about our done-for-you option as well, but time is running out if you want to make it on your deadline in the US, especially if you want to make sure we can look at that, and if you don't want to have to file an extension, so would recommend you get in touch with us as soon as possible. So I think we'll have the link as well for the next workshops, and there's also an option if you're want to get quickly, you can watch the replay, one of the recent replay as well, if you prefer to do that. So thanks, and have a good weekend, and we'll be in touch very soon. Bye bye.